From Neural Newscast, this is Deep Dive, exploring the moments that shape today.
Welcome to Deep Dive from Neural Newscast, where we uncover the threads that weave our past into the present. It is June 25th, 2026. Today, we explore a day marked by a legendary stand on the American frontier and the arrival of several visionaries who changed how we see, write, and hear the world. The early summer heat of the Montana Territory in 1876 was heavy with tension. On this afternoon, the landscape near the Little Bighorn River became the site of one of the most famous and debated conflicts in military history. That would be the Battle of the Little Bighorn. It was a moment of profound consequence, Hannah, born from a mix of military overconfidence and a desperate defense of indigenous sovereignty. Lieutenant Colonel George Armstrong Custer was leading the United States 7th Cavalry with the intent of forcing Native American tribes back onto reservations. He viewed it as a routine operation, but as he descended into the valley, he realized his intelligence had failed him entirely. He didn't just find a camp. He found a massive gathering of Lakota Sioux, Northern Cheyenne, and Arapaho. They were united under the spiritual leadership of Sitting Bull and the tactical brilliance of Crazy Horse, outnumbering Custer's men by thousands. Tactically, it was a catastrophe. Custer had split his regiment into 3 groups, and his own contingent of more than 200 men was surrounded and systematically overwhelmed. It was a total collapse that left no survivors from his immediate command. While the victory was a monumental achievement for the tribes, the backlash from the east was swift and severe. The news reached a nation celebrating its centennial, sparking a wave of public outrage that the government used to fuel even more aggressive military campaigns across the Great Plains. It remains a haunting chapter of expansion and resistance. But as we move forward through the calendar, June 25th also reveals itself as a day of immense creative birth. It really is a collection of giants. We have to start in 1852 with Antoni Gaudí. Hannah, given your interest in how environments shape our daily lives, his work must be a fascination for you.
Gaudí is incomparable. His architecture in Barcelona, especially the Sagrada Família, feels less like masonry and more like something that emerged naturally from the forest floor. He bypassed straight lines for the curves of nature, creating a style that still feels futuristic over a century later. The fact that his masterpiece is still being built today speaks to the scale of his vision. But shifting from stone to the written word, 1903 saw the birth of Eric Arthur Blair, whom the world remembers as George Orwell. Orwell's legacy is everywhere. His ability to strip away the veneers of power in books like 1984 and Animal Farm is something you likely reference often in your own analysis of public policy, Claire. He is the definitive voice on how language can be manipulated to control reality. He had this brutal honesty about the struggles of the working class and the dangers of surveillance that only grows more relevant with time. And for a complete change of pace, we also celebrate the 1963 birth of George Michael. He evolved from the bright, energetic pop of Wham! Into one of the most soulful and respected singer-songwriters of his generation.
He possessed an incredible range, not just vocally, but as a producer and artist who fought for his creative independence. It's a remarkable trio of birthdays: architecture, literature, and music, all reaching these extreme heights on the same calendar day.
It really highlights the different ways one can influence the cultural landscape. But before we close the books on today, we have our fact of the day, and it takes us back to the 17th century.
This is a significant milestone for academia. In 1678, Elena Cornaro Piscopia became the first woman in history to receive a university doctoral degree, earning her PhD in philosophy from the University of Padua.
The 1600s? That is nearly 3.5 centuries ago.
The sheer determination it must have taken to be taken seriously in a room full of scholars at that time is staggering. She was originally barred from a theology degree because of her gender, so she chose philosophy instead. Her oral defense was so highly anticipated that the university had to move the ceremony to the local cathedral because the crowds were so large. She proved that intellect knows no gender. From a revolutionary defense of education in Italy to a final stand in Montana, June 25th shows us the power of individuals who refuse to stay within the boundaries drawn for them. It's a reminder that history is rarely static. It's driven by people who are willing to push against the expected, for better or worse. Thank you for spending part of your day with us as we look back. We hope these stories stay with you. Deep Dive is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. Explore history every day on Neural Newscast at deepdive.neuralnewscast.com. Deep Dive is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. Explore history every day on Neural Newscast.
This has been Deep Dive on Neural Newscast, exploring the moments that shape today.